we were talking about altars and just kind of thinking what that's like, and I was just hearing like what you feed was what will grow, and we know that with many things. Like science wasn't my best subject, so I defer to the doctors over here, but like bacteria, virus, inflammation, right? The more we feed it, the more that it grows, the stronger it can become. And same thing, like negative words, right? When you speak the negative words over yourself, it's like it starts to be when you speak. So there's this power of our heart, and then what's in our tongue of what we speak. And I was thinking of that, like it's altars, I think, are often associated with vows a lot of times, because we make a vow at the altar, right? That's when you vow yourself to the Lord, you consecrate yourself to the Lord. And I know for me, one of mine was that altar. I will never let somebody control me. That was kind of mine, you know. And I won't be controlled. I won't be I won't be hurt and that type of stuff. So you build up this protection, right? That's around you. So there's this altar of protection that I would go to, you know. And I remember whenever that really broke, it was scary, because I was working with a dear friend of mine who is in ministry, and she was helping me walk through this. And she said, well, are you ready to let that protector, that self-protector go? And I remember going, well, I'm scared because I don't want to get hurt. And she's like, well, have you been hurt? And since you've built this place? And I'm like, well, yes. And she's like, okay, so are you ready to let God take control of that area? And there was so much freedom that came. And it doesn't mean that I don't still start to build my wall, right? Because it's like, you know, but when I notice that, I go, oh, Lord, I don't want to build that altar again. I don't want to worship at self-protection ever again. I want to worship at your altar. And so I think that's the thing, is to ask is where are you feeding? Where is your mind going? Where are your words going? Where are your thoughts going? That's what you're feeding. And God can come in, and even with the renewal of the mind, I mean, you can take every thought captive. And last week I was thinking about what we had when talking over, and God had spoke to me, you can either ruminate or you can let me renew. And that's the thing. We can either ruminate over the things, or we can let God bring the renewal. But that only comes whenever we break the altar, all the self altars, and just erect the altars that are God's.
Yeah, I thought that was good, because we were talking about that too. The rumination doesn't bring the revelation.
It's confusion,
it just
pain,
doesn't.
fear.
You understand that? The rumination, to ruminate on it over and over, does not bring revelation. God does. And it usually when we release that the revelation comes. Amen?